Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, hey guys, doing Grugs here at Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back, troops, legionnaires, and new recruits. As always, really appreciate you all taking the time to check out my channel and my videos. Today, we're going to be testing out something that was recommended by one of my subscribers. This is the Masalong KNI-231 drop point in 9cr14MoV steel. Not the greatest steel, I know, but I got it for, I don't know, $14, $13 on Prime Day, based on a recommendation. Let's put it to the test, man. I want to see what this extreme budget blade can do. What's everybody carrying today? I've got my R Black Tonto in 154 cm steel. What's everybody carrying? Veterans, active military, as always, just want to say thank you very much for your service. We really do appreciate it. Enjoy the video. All right, let's do quick specs because I want to get to testing. Overall length, 10.55 inch. Blade length, 4.61 inch. Blade steel, 9cr14MoV. Apparently a modified version of 440B. Blade hardness, 59 to 60 HRC. Blade thickness, 4.7 millimeters. And it does have a sharp spine, but hopefully it'll, make some fluff. Handle length, 5.3 inch. Handle material, I think it's a G10. I really couldn't figure it out. Looks like G10, feels like G10, who knows. Weight, 9.56 ounce. With Kydex sheath, it is 13.26 ounce. Features full Tang Kydex sheath and a TekLoc. No lanyard hole, man. That is insane. So, I've got a smaller log. We're going to do a little bit of chopping, but then I'm going to do some batoning with this. So, let's see how the edge holds up with this. I am excited. Let's get to it. Quick close-up, troops. I got to tell you, for the price that I paid for this, this is not a bad knife. I wish it had a lanyard hole. Other than that, man, this is pretty good. High saber grind. Generous sharpening choil that will act as a finger choil guard. Nicely contoured, I think that's G10 handles. Okay, it feels pretty good. Slight hot spots, but I got to tell you, the fit and finish overall on this knife is like 98%. Full Tang goodness. Okay, removable scales. Let me do the reverse grip over here. Feels good. I mean, I would take this hunting. I mean, there's people who tell me this is not a combat knife. Well, you think the bad guy is going to notice the difference? You think if you shove this up that guy's ass, he's just going to laugh and say, oh, that's not a combat knife? Come on, guys. Give me a break, man. This is an awesome blade. You can use this out in the field and shank someone with this if you're in the military, man. Come on. That's ridiculous. In any case, let's take a look at the sheath, man. Nice pancake style Kydex sheath, high quality, drainage hole, TekLoc for upright and scout carry. No rattle, no up and down play, no side to side play, man. Retention is good. Looks good. Let's get to work. Okay, small piece right here, but a hard piece of wood. Let's see how the edge is going to hold up. Right now, this edge is perfect. So let's cut it in half. And I purposely picked a small piece. Number one, because I know you guys don't want to see, these small knives cutting through big pieces of wood. And I want to get through this quick. So plus there is no lanyard here that I could safely put around my wrist. If I feel that it's a little loose, I'm going to put on some of that. I'm going to put on gloves, okay, and then I'll take it from there. So let's see. Let's get started. Okay, so right off the bat, I have to hold it back here, right, to get the chopping leverage that I need, and hence it's why I wanted a small piece to work with. quite a few people have mentioned to me that they were pretty happy with their purchase because of how sharp alone it was. So that's good. That's a good sign, you know. At least you know that you're getting a sharp knife. Now, I did do a Legion Premiere, so go check that out. You get a lot more detailed look at the blade. Probably should wear both my gloves. So I'm just taking my time here. I'll tell you, man, that lanyard makes a difference. I don't understand why they didn't put a lanyard here, lanyard hole. But again, you wouldn't be chopping with a knife like this. Delimbing, yes, you know, maybe you need to make a fishing pole, a spear, whatever. Delimbing, you know, at least you'll know now by this chopping test that you could do some delimbing. Just not getting the leverage that I need. So I'm trying to do it without the gloves. And it is still sticking in there, you know. That edge is looking good so far. We'll test it out on a pre-made feather stick. Now look at that. It's just sticking. Now remember, I paid for this, man, so no, I'm not representing this company, so this is going to be awesome. Trying to use every part of the blade. I don't know if you could see in the sunlight, but you can see the sweet spot right there. Without that lanyard, the chopping is just not as controlled. Okay, good. Last few strokes, I used the front part of that blade as best as possible. Now, let's see real quick. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad. Now I'm going to do some V-notch batoning in a nice bigger piece of wood. All right. It'll be safer, but you could see right there, it's still pretty sharp. Now, let's get to it, man. Okay, so you've heard me say it many times before. I'm running out of wood. I'm going to use this piece. I'm going to V-notch through this. Let's see how the edge holds up after it's done. That's good, right? Nice and deep in there. That looks okay to me. So I definitely wanted to get you guys a thick piece. All right, here's a nice wedge right there. All right. Just gonna keep on going. Whoops. Thought the handle was coming loose, but still we're good to go. I know this is going to be a little awkward now, but I'll do the best that I can. Handle still seems to be holding up okay. Huh, that looks good. Maybe the heat treat on this is good, but it's still early, so. Let's just keep on going. All right, nice deep cuts. I'm trying my best to make sure that you guys see that I am trying to get deep in there, man. All right, good. It's a little bit bouncy, but doing the best that I can with what I've got, and I don't got much anymore. Okay. Looks straight to me, man. Actually, let me see. No chips or anything like that. All right, good. For the time being, I might have to go purchase some of that kiln dried wood from the supermarkets and stuff, because that's real hard stuff. So I might be using that for a little while for testing too. Okay, not bad, man. I mean, that's looking good, man, for a $15 knife, you know? Okay. So for those who've been waiting for this testing, you're lucky that I'm using my personal equipment for testing, man. I missed that completely. That's okay. Well, let's just keep on going then until it snaps apart. Still making little slices here. Just get rid of this. Okay. Let me see if I can go through the whole thing for everybody. 1 second. It depends, man, you know? Okay. There we go. Nice. All right. Actually, let's finish through. Man, that's straight. That is straight as an arrow. Okay, so let's see now. Whew. Okay, everybody says 9cr sucks, 9cr sucks, 9cr sucks, Chinese sucks. But look at that, man. Not bad for a $13, $14 blade. Now it's $20 on Amazon, but when it was Prime Day and somebody recommended this to me, look at that, man. Are you kidding me? Okay. Let me just clean this up and we'll do some horizontal and vertical batoning. Okay, I think that did very well. Let's make some smaller pieces here. Real nice, man. Real nice. All right, vertical batoning. I'm happy with, man. Okay, definitely doable. Okay, still sharp. I know it was just a couple of little batons. I'll save this for later. Maybe I'll do a tip test with this one. So let me get another piece for horizontal batoning. Okay, here we go. This is the second part of that piece of wood. This bark over here. So let's utilize the whole blade. Nice. Okay, you can see it's split over here. Well, you know what? Let me finish this. It's just falling apart, this piece. But again, I'm only using what I've got left, so all right, I did dig that into the stump a little bit. That worked out okay. Let's do this through the knot. Wow, look at that. Okay. See if I can get through this. Wow, that's a tough piece. Let's see that edge. It looks good to me. Wow, it won't go through that knot, boy, let me tell you. Look at that. That's crazy. Now it went through. Good. So that was, I think that's a damn good test, man. All right. And I'm going to go through this knot again. All right, that looks good. I know it's a bit of a mess here. However, let's see now. Oh. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Did I cut myself, man? The things I do for you guys. Okay, look at that. Front part of that blade where I was batoning that knot. There you go. That's good, man. 9cr steel. Who would have thought? Huh? 15 bucks? Well, $20 now, but wow. Okay, let's try some tip testing, okay? Looks kind of thin, but the steel is kicking some ass. I mean, it's still straight as an arrow. I'll use this to make a divot, but I'm going to use this to see if I could punch through this. And then I have something to make some feathers, curls, etc. So first things first, to be on the safe side, I am going to first tap this in with my hands away. Okay, guys, just trying to be safe here, right? Because this rolls a lot, and if I do it, you know, if I do this tip test like this, like I've done before, and I've actually cut my finger that way. So It's not too bad. It's in the center. Now I have no lanyard, so I'm just going to be careful. I'm relying on the contouring of the handle and the guard. So let's see what I can do here. But the point is to test that tip of the 9cr. Oh, I'm through. It broke. And the tip is still there, man. You know, those two companies should be ashamed of themselves, man. Let me tell you. What is it? Swiss Tech, that tip broke on me. And who's that other company? Off Grid. They should be ashamed of themselves, man. I've got cheaper knives, you know, that I am accomplishing the tasks here. All right, that those knives didn't do. I mean, one knife I just put in like this and it flopped over, you know? So, and the off-grid, I was doing the exact same thing, you know, that I'm doing here with this knife. This simple task that everybody agreed that wasn't so bad, especially for a clip point, you know? But this tip is coming through as thin as it is, which is pretty cool. Just got to be careful that I don't hurt myself here. Now the handle is starting to come loose. I'm going to have to tighten it after I'm done here. All right, and those other knives weren't cheap. You know, one was like almost $80. The other one was $60, you know? So that looks good. Actually, you know what? I'm good because, oh, the screw came out. The screw came loose. All right, look at that. So this definitely needs to be Loctited. You know what? Let me just pause, tighten this up, and we'll make a divot. All right, so just give me a second. Okay, so red flag. Both screws came loose, man. As soon as you get this, man, make sure you guys Loctite this or use whatever super glue, whatever you want in here to make sure these don't come loose if you plan on using it hard. Okay, so good. Now let's test a divot. I've tested out a divot here before. Let's see how the tip holds up. Making a divot. So if this tip breaks, I don't care because for 20 bucks, I'll get a new one. But again, I'm using the tip to pivot to make this divot larger. Tip is there, baby. I had one guy, he wasn't even a subscriber, you know, he commented on another subscriber's positive post and he says, wait till you try and resell your knife. Listen, for 15 bucks, I'll throw it out, man. I mean, some people, they absolutely make no sense. You know, there are some people out there who purchase knives to use as tools, not as showpiece. You know what I mean? And this knife right here is no showpiece. It's a tool. I swear, guys and gals, some of the shit people say is ridiculous. Okay. Nice, man. Okay, I went through this wood. That's that solid round piece. Now, okay, let's do this. All right, good. Now let's just make some individual curls. I know this is just sharp, but again, I want to show everybody how nice and sharp that is. Look at that. You can make a big pile of these. You don't have to make feather sticks, man. I'm starting to realize that feather sticks are just good for, you know, showing people on the video, but you can make a big pile of these out in the field. You don't have to worry about making feather sticks. Pick up your twigs, pick up your sticks or whatever. You make a big pile. You put your twigs and stick on top of this. And if your spine is sharp enough, spark up a ferro rod, you're good to go, man. You don't need to make feather sticks, trust me. But for the video, all right, let's just do it to show everybody how sharp this knife still is. As part of the testing procedures here, I like doing the same tests, some variations here and there, but I just want to show people, after some of the abuse that these knives go through, that they're still capable of producing this type of work if you guys are interested. And I'm, as sharp as this is now, making these feathers, this can definitely make a notch. If need be. Let's make one for everybody anyway. Not a bushcraft knife at all, but let's make the notch for everybody anyway. I don't feel like this is a knife I have to choke up for. I just don't. I feel better, more comfortable with the handle. And okay, so far so good. And I guess you could use your thumb up here to refine. And pressing down on this, no hot spots at all. Everything is rounded off. I think I don't know what handle these are. And by the way, I just took a peek under here. It's full tang. It's not skeletonized. So I know a lot of people be happy with that, but just a damn fine, budget blade right here, man. $20 and you got yourself a beast, okay? Don't tell me this is not a good knife. Okay. There we go. Example number 7 notch. And you could do whatever, but this is pretty badass right here, man. I got another guy who keeps on saying, you'd be better off using an axe than a saw. I know. This is a channel that tests out knives. These are people who don't even bother watching my, my channel. They probably get frustrated that I'm chopping or whatever, and then they add one stupid comment. I never hear from these assholes ever again. It's ridiculous, man. All right? $20 right now on Amazon. Shit. That's awesome. The tip is good, $20. Compared to that, the off-grid Cayman XL that I paid, I don't know, $80 for, and the tip came off. Please, do me a favor, man. All right, you know what? Camp tasks. I've got my kindling, got my wood quartered, etc. Let's test out this spine real quick. I'm going to test out 3 things. I'm going to test out the spine, the jimping, and the choil, all right? So all right, so the spine, not too good as far as a little bit of fluff here, okay? It's not like it's aggressive and digging in. I thought it was sharp. Again, my mistake. Let's test out the jimping. Not too good on the jimping. Very, very, very little. It's going to take a lot of work. Now let's test out this choil over here. Let's see if I could. Not really, man. Not really. Nothing. Not really. I mean, look at that. Just very, very, very little here. Too bad. Too bad. It's not the end of the world, man. All you need to do is take a work sharp, sharpen this up a little bit. I think we'd be okay. So now let's try the fatwood here. All right, well, at least good enough for the fatwood. All right. So that is fluff from the fat wood. I've had knives do worse on the fat wood, so let's try the jimping now. Not bad on the jimping, okay? And again, as always, guys and gals, you know as well as I do, and I've been saying this all the time, you could always make nice thin, you know, curls over here. Or use the sharpness of the blade to make your fluff if you need this type of stuff here on the wood. So I needed to get that out. Needed to let you guys know that this is not a deal breaker for these knives. You got to get to know your knife, right? And now the choil. Okay, that's a sufficient amount right there. You know, that's significant right there. And again, as always, you know, you can use your blade to make nice, small, thin curls to supplement or add into your pile. All right, you don't have to do this. I know a lot of people like it, but it's a shame it's not doing it for the wood. That kind of does suck a little bit. But again, not the end of the world. This can be sharpened. Now, ferro rod, let's see. I want to make sure I don't start anything here. Okay, good. So the spine, definitely sparking. Now let's see the jimping. Nice. Nice, the jimping is definitely doing showers. You're just gonna have to move your hand out of the way a little bit more and you've got gold. All right, now let's check out. Whoa, that sharpening choil doing the job. All right, utility, man, nice. Okay, now let's try some other stuff. Once again, possible camp tasks, and this time I got the heavy duty industrial stuff, okay, plastics, thick. I want to see how this is all going to work out. All right, let's start off with some of the simple stuff here. I have something synthetic rope that somebody may want to take out into a camping environment. Okay, let's see. Easy, real easy. Okay, that's still nice and sharp, man. Awesome. Make sure this is nice and tight. Doesn't come loose. I have some thin paracord here. Let's do a little push cut. Nicely done. Beautiful. Okay. A little bit thicker paracord here. Push cut from the rear. So for those who are looking for the expensive knives, but you guys can't afford it, fret not, man. Look into this knife right here. There's nothing wrong with this, man, other than it doesn't have a hole for the lanyard. Okay, so got the camp stuff out of the way. Oh, actually, I do have one more. I mean, this is pretty reasonable, I think, to take. It's lightweight, you know, for camping environments. So let's do a quick test with one of these. Right, not as thick as you would use like that one, but an example nonetheless. And let me double up over here for everybody. Okay, awesome. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. I don't know who would allow somebody, you know, maybe you're on a ranch. Okay, there you go, on a ranch. All right, there you go, done. I think this is the same stuff. I think this is a little bit thicker. So let's just test, right? Again, you're on a ranch. Okay. All right, this was a short piece. Let me see if I could do better now with this one, with one swipe. In fact, you know what I'll do is, I'll do this. Right here, yeah, this is definitely a little bit substantial right here. Come on now. There we go. All right, it got held up over there, but still doable. In fact, you know what? Let's do it again. What the hell, man? Again, if you're on a ranch, you need to get the work done. You got pallets. I don't know, whatever. Doable. Did I do this? Yep, I sure did. And once again, this is on the construction site. This holds prefabricated roofing right through, man. All right. Excellent. Good to go. All right, there we go. For those who wanted to see this tested out, you got it, man. This knife is badass. Wow, I got to put a review up on Amazon on this knife, man. I put this one to the test for sure. Gave it a good beat, and it came through with flying colors. Just goes to show you, man, you don't got to spend hundreds upon hundreds of dollars to get a good knife. Hey, look, 9cr. Look what it did. You know, and eventually you guys all got to learn how to sharpen a knife. I don't care what the steel is. I don't care if it's the super hardest to the super softest. You got to learn to sharpen. This knife doesn't need any sharpening, but you know, when you're done with your camp tasks at the end of the day, hunting, whatever, you got to maintain your blades. You strop it a bit. All I need to do with this one is just strop it. I felt the edge. All I got to do is strop it. It should be okay. Maybe wash off the sap, etc. You know, little maintenance goes a long way. This knife should last you a long time, especially if you're going to have a saw and an axe, which I do own. Okay? It's just going to work out for you. The way this thing cut, you're not going to have a problem with cutting up game, doing camp kitchen tasks, vegetables, fruits, meats, etc. Awesome, awesome knife. Buy it, don't buy it. I don't give a shit, okay? Not representing this company either. I bought this because it was real cheap, and man, oh man, did it perform on me. You know, it did a fine job. So $20 on Amazon for those interested. Go check it out. Let me bring awareness, everybody. Hashtag 22 a day, hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military who wants to get out of the service. They do face a lot of challenges. And unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, pause on the slides, call those phone numbers, surf those websites. Read that message from Martin Miller. He's one of your own, Vietnam veteran. Seek the help you all have earned and deserve. Troops, Legionnaires, new recruits, at the ready, hold the line. Take care.
Legionnaires!